and how we can devise smarter solutions for urban planning. And this will become only more relevant as it is expected that 4.9 billion people will live in cities around the world by the year 2030. This area of Barcelona is characterized by its strict grid pattern, apartment with communal courtyards, and these octagonal intersections, which allow for more sunlight, better ventilation, and additional parking at street level. And here we see that grid pattern, but under much different circumstances. This is the Dadaab refugee camp in northern Kenya, the largest such facility of its kind in the world. To cope with the influx of refugees who are fleeing Somalia, where there is famine and conflict, the UN has built this area gridded out at left called the LFO extension to house more and more refugees who are arriving and occupying these white dots, which are actually tents, which will slowly fill up the area over time. So, if you have one of these overviews, you have a moment in time. If we have two overviews, however, we're able to tell stories about changes in time. I call that feature of the project Juxtapose, and we'll share a few examples of it with you now. So the tulip fields in Netherlands bloom every year in April. So if we take an image captured in March a few weeks before and contrast it to one taken a few weeks later, we're able to watch the flowers bloom in this magnificent cascade of color. It is estimated that the Dutch produce 4.3 billion tulip bulbs every year. In 2015, 2 dams collapsed at an iron ore mine in southeastern Brazil, causing one of the worst environmental disasters in the history of the country. It is estimated that 62 million cubic meters of waste were released when the dams broke, destroying numerous villages in the process, including Bento Rodrigues, seen here before and after the flood. Ultimately, 19 people were killed in this disaster. 500,000 people did not have access to clean drinking water for an extended period of time. And the waste soon entered into the Rio Doce River, extended for 650 kilometers all the way into the sea, killing unknowable amounts of plant and animal life along the way. And lastly, here's a story related to the crisis in Syria, a conflict which has claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people and displaced millions. So this patch of desert is seen in Mafraq, Jordan in 2011, the year the conflict started. And when we compare it to an image captured just this year in 2017, we see the construction of the Zaatari refugee camp. So, just as the astronauts of Apollo 8 watched the Earth rising above the lunar landscape for the first time, there is no way that you could have imagined what the places I just showed you look like from outer space. And while you may enjoy the aesthetics of an image, once you learn exactly what it is you're seeing, you may struggle with the fact that you still like it. And that's the tension I want to create with my work, because I believe it is that contemplation, that internal dialogue, that will lead to greater interest in our planet and more awareness of what we're doing to it. I believe that viewing the Earth from the overview perspective is more important now than ever before. Through the incredible technology of these high-flying cameras, we can see, monitor, and expose the unprecedented impact that we are having.